to decide who go first. So you have chance go first, stand in the winning position. Okay. So I'm very happy to invite the Canada leader Ryan Maria. He is a team leader of the Canada team. He also is a master of Alberta University. Okay, give applause to him.
Then it will be so bright.
So thank you, Mr. Sun, for inviting me here to talk about these unfair games. I think maybe before I get started, I just want to talk about a little bit of terminology when mathematicians talk about analyzing these kinds of two-player games. So first off, in math we say a game is solved, right? So I know it sounds kind of funny to call a game solved. You think of a game as something you play, but for mathematicians, games are things that you actually solve. And we say a game is solved if you found a winning strategy, if you know whether it's better to go first or second. And what you can kind of figure is that a winning strategy is a strategy where you can guarantee a win no matter how the other person plays. And this is a very strong statement. It's not saying that you win 80% of the time, 90% of the time, 99.9% of the time. This is saying you win 100% of the time, no matter how the other person plays. And so if you can find the winning strategy, if you can describe the winning strategy, that means the game is solved, it's done, there's nothing left to think about. So that's really what we strive when we're talking about this combinatorial game theory. So, and in fact, something that maybe sounds kind of surprising at first is that for any two-player game where players take turns alternately, no random elements, no dice rolling, perfect knowledge, which just means it's not like card games where you have to hand the other person sees, you know everything that's going on, and there's not some way to postpone the game indefinitely. For these kinds of games, there actually has to exist a winning strategy. It may not be obvious, but there has to exist one. So even games like chess and Go, these very hard games, these games do necessarily have to have a winning strategy, right? By what we know here. But to figure out the winning strategy is incredibly difficult. But for the games that you guys played yesterday, finding the winning strategy really isn't too bad. It's maybe hard, but it is possible to do it.
Do you know
maybe I'll do some terminology with you. I don't want to talk too much about it later on, but I think it's kind of important if we're talking about two-player games. I want to talk about winning positions and losing positions. I think something that Mr. Sun mentioned briefly. So winning positions and losing positions are positions of the game that adhere to a couple of conditions. And these conditions are, well, the first one is a game where no more moves can be played. It's a losing position. In other words, if you get this position, you've lost the game. B, any move from the losing position goes to a winning one. The key word here is any. So any move, no matter what you do, from the losing goes to a winning. And the third property is from any winning position there exists. Again, that's the key word, is there exists. A move that goes from a winning position to a losing one. And so maybe if you think about this for a little bit, you might be able to realize that if you have the opportunity to send the other player to a losing position, you will eventually win the game. Because if you send them to a losing, they have to send you to a winning. And from a winning, you can send them to a losing. So they have to send you to a winning, so on and so forth until eventually you win. So we want to use this kind of idea of forcing the other player's move and eventually winning. So maybe we'll look at the first game. So I think the first game was this one. Right, so this looks familiar.
I think it's symmetrical.
I think it's called like a trihex or something. But anyway, the way that you play the game is you have this neat little board, you have a bunch of red tokens, a bunch of black tokens. Player 1 plays the red, player 2 plays the black. They take turns placing one counter at a time. The first person to get 3 in a row wins. So, objective, get 3 in a row. So it's kind of like tic-tac-toe, but with a nice little twist. All right. So the way that we solve this one is we need to analyze. So something which maybe you kind of figured out right away is that the 3 corner circles are all essentially the same. The 3 edge cells are essentially the same, and the 3 middle ones are all essentially the same by symmetry. The reason why I'm going to be talking a lot about symmetry today is because it was once said that really good mathematics is done when mathematicians are lazy. That's not to say that mathematicians cut corners or mathematicians like to fudge their proofs a little bit. What this says is that mathematicians want to cut out steps and try to boil down the problem to the essential components whenever possible. So a long so a shorter proof is always better than a long proof, right? You want to do as little work as possible without sacrificing the integrity of your work. I think the other thing, which might not be as obvious, is that it actually turns out that the outer circles or the circles on the edge are equivalent to the inner circles by symmetry. So there's, surprisingly, there's really only 2 initial moves you can do. You can either play on the corner or you can play anywhere else. So I think we can talk about the winning strategy for this one. So for this game, player 1 can always win. Right? Player 1 can always win by playing on anything that's not the edge. All right? And all we have to do is sort of work out case by case all of the responses that player 2 can make. And if we can show that player 1 always wins, then we have solved the game. So maybe the first case. Alright, so first case, player 2 takes that corner, player 2 responds, forcing player 1's move. Alright, and now player 2 can sort of finish them off by putting them in this pincer. Right? So now player 2 can either take either one of the bottom cells to win. And you just repeat this idea for each possible move that player 2 can do. So player 2 goes here, player 1 should respond here, forces player 2 to go there,
self-kill,
and then player 1 can ensure their win. Right? Next case 3, if player 1, player 2 goes there, player 1, they play like that. Right? Case 4, if player 2 goes there, we sort of play it out, and each time forcing the move and then putting them into a pincer. So I think game 1's really not too bad to analyze as long as you keep yourself organized and sort of work out each case using the symmetry whenever possible to sort of cut down on your work. All right, so that's game 1. Game 2, we have 9 cards, each with some word on it. All right, players take turns removing a card, and what their goal is to get 3 cards, all of which have the same number.
It needs to have at least 2 on each dimension.
So today we're going to be talking about a lot of different ways to not only solve games, but also problem solving. And so our strategy for this one is
I can be a square.
Almost identical. So we noticed that maybe like in tic-tac-toe, or in the standard like 3x3 grid, you want to get 3 in a row. There's 8 winning lines. And maybe after analyzing this one, looking at all the different ways you can win, you notice that there's also 3 ways you can win, or 8 possible ways you can win. Or you look at the A's, you want to write them down. Look at the E's, there's 3 words that have E's in it. H's, there's 3 words that have H's in it. O's, R's, S's, T's, and finally the W's.
Are you using Wi-Fi?
So if you write all these down, you can. I don't know, just because there's 8 lines doesn't necessarily mean it's the same as tic-tac-toe, but you rearrange them like this, and all of a sudden this game is identical to tic-tac-toe, right? We say it's isomorphic to tic-tac-toe, which means, the word isomorphic means identical in every way except maybe appearance. So the rules of the game may be different, the chips of the game may be different, the way you win might be different, but it's essentially still the same game. So if you were to play this game and place these things in this exact configuration, this is exactly tic-tac-toe. And as many of you probably already know from playing tic-tac-toe or X's and O's, this game always ends in a draw if both players play well. So, all right, so game 3. Oh, all right, so game 3. I think game 3 is the first pretty interesting game. I like this one. So this one you have a 3x3 grid along with 8 counters. You place the counters on the board like this, and players take turns removing 1, 2, or 3 counters, provided they all lie in the same row or column.
1, 2, or 3. And
also the counters have to be adjacent. There's actually another game where you rescind the condition that they have to be adjacent. This gives you a completely different game, which is also really interesting. So if you're interested in this one, I encourage you to try that one. Just take away the condition that they have to be adjacent, and you get a really nice game out of it. As for this one, though, we have that condition that they're adjacent. And so remember kind of what I was saying earlier about using symmetry to make your life easier. Cut out cases. This column is a perfect example of that. We want to use symmetry as much as possible to sort of do as little work as possible. So in this game, it turns out that a second player has a win. Maybe surprisingly, I think a lot of people thought that this one is a one-player win game. But we look at all of there's 12 non-equivalent moves the first player can do, and all we need to do is go through each one of them. Right? If you look at each possible move individually, you're going to be here forever, right? So you will need to use symmetry to cut out your work. So the first moves are shown up there. All right. And so we just need to go through each one of these, but this really isn't too bad.
It's a total.
The first four are actually pretty easy because you can cut it in half such that it makes 2 individual groups of 1 by 2s. So, right. So first four, you can make that move. You can make that move. You can make that move. Or you can make that move, and you get two distinct groups of 2 by 2s. That's the first board. And at this point, all you need to do, I think at this point it's clear that you can win because whatever the next player does, you can just do it on the opposite 1 by 2 board. And eventually you will win. For the next 2, you do something very similar, but instead of breaking it into 2 1 by 2s, you break it up into 2 sort of L shapes. So you take the one, and the next one you take the one in the middle, and you make this L shape, which gives you 2 distinct boards, and you do the exact same thing as before, where you just copy that move on the other one. Alright, so yeah, thereafter you just play symmetrically the other one. Alright, so for the remaining boards, it's really not, the next 4 boards really aren't too bad. Right, so the next board you can break up into a 2 by 2. So there would be your move for the next 4 boards. So you can turn it into just a 2 by 2. And at this point, it's not too hard to see that you'll be able to win. Right? If they take 2, you can just take the last 2 and win. And if they only take 1, then you can take the opposite corner. So if they take this one, you just take the opposite corner. So that's it for those ones. And we have 2 boards left, and these are the really tricky ones. So for these ones,
These are the best moves.
this is the move that you make. So this one's definitely the hardest one to remember. But as long as you can remember the shape, you should be able to always win. But if you make this move, right, then it's not. I don't think it's clear yet why you can still win in this position. Or it's not really clear why this is a losing position yet. But if we just look through the 5 possible responses, or 5 possible moves that the player can make from this one, I think you'll see that you win. So right, if they take the corner, if they take the bottom one, if they take the middle one, if they take, let's see, I guess the middle 2, or if they take the other middle 2. All right, so these are the only different boards. These are the only boards that your opponent is able to make. And each of these, I think it's not too hard to see that you can win by making 2 distinct 1-by-1s. So we'll just show that. There. Okay, so since we dealt with only 12 possible starting moves player 1 can make, in every case, player 2 can bring up their strategy. So this is enough to say that we have solved game 3. All right. Look at the next one. So game 4. Game 4 is really important to talk about because we get to talk about 2 problem-solving strategies, which are really important. So the way that we play this one is we have this funny shape along with 15 counters. Right. Players take turns removing 2 adjacent counters until eventually nobody can make a move and whoever can make a move loses. Alright, so in this game the second player can win. But so kind of similar to what so the 2 things that we're going to do, the first one, to make it easier to deal with, is we're going to rearrange the game board to something that's a lot easier to deal with. Right? This funny shape really doesn't mean anything to actually playing the game, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it out and that'll make it a lot easier to really tackle this thing. So for convenience, we change it to a 1-by-15. And also for convenience, instead of taking away 2 things from a full board, we're going to imagine placing 2 counters and exactly 2 counters on an empty board. And so that's just to make it a little bit easier to describe the game. Right, so when you're solving problems, don't be afraid to transform it to an isomorphic game and solve that one. After all, if you can solve the isomorphic game, the strategy carries over. Okay. So that was what I said before. Instead of removing, we place them on. So that's the first important thing that we're going to do, which is a nice problem-solving strategy beyond just analyzing games. The second one is also extremely important. I know that my guys know that I try to push this a lot, but we're going to downsize the problem, right? Instead of looking at a 1-by-15 board, we're going to look at a 1-by-n board for small values of n. And usually in general, when you're doing problems with very large numbers, it really helps to downsize the problem. Look at a few small cases, look for a pattern, look for something, and try to get a general story. In this one, we're not going to find a general solution for n. I think that's way too hard. But downsizing still really helps us with this problem, as we'll see in a little bit. So we'll look at n equals 1 first. Maybe this is a very trivial case. N equals 1, second player wins automatically. Player 1 can't place it 2. The other trivial case is 1-by-2 and 1-by-3. This one, player 1 wins. They just play where they can. Nobody else can fit. So when you're solving a game like this, it actually probably helps to make a table, right? So you may want to make a table, 1 column for n, 1 column for who wins. And I think this will really help. It'll make solving this game a lot easier if you were to do it on your own. The next case, when n equals 4, is our first interesting case. So 1-by-4 board, player 1, player 1 can win by placing it in the middle. But also importantly, but maybe doesn't seem important now, but a player 1 can also force player 2 to win by placing on the side. So like that, right? If player 2 plays up on 1-2, they force player 2 to win. And this is important, right? It may seem kind of silly to talk about now, but as we'll see later, this is a very important point to remember. Okay, so 1 by 5. 1 by 5, player 1 wins no matter what. Or sorry, player 2 wins no matter what. Sorry, I messed that up. Yeah, player 2 wins no matter what. No matter where player 1 goes, there's always a place for player 2, which means the second player wins automatically. On a 1 by 6, very similar to the 1 by 4. The first player gets to pick whether they win or lose, which is a lot stronger than just being able to win. 1 by 7 and 1 by 8. First player can win, but if they don't choose to win, then player 2 gets to pick whether they win or lose. So these ones aren't so great. You don't necessarily want to guess a 1 by 7 or 1 by 8. All right, so I'm not going to go over these ones. I think they're not too bad to go through. It's very similar to earlier. The one I will go over is the 1 by 9. So on this one, the second player can always win. So let's look at all the possible first responses by the first player. So black is first player, and then the white is second player's response. So these are all the ways player 1 can go, and the winning move for player 2. So I guess really, regardless of where player 1 goes, player 2 always plays with 6-7. And
Nice use of
hard to
animation.
see that player 1, or so that's not hard to see that player 2 will always win these games. Right? There's always a 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 left over, which means player 1 wins. Or sorry, player 2 wins no matter what. Okay, so that's one good thing to keep in mind. I think we're ready to jump to 1 by 15. Alright, so the 1 by 15 board, there's 7 opening moves. And similar to last time, we'll show the winning move for the second player. These are the 7 moves. It's a little bit trickier than the 1 by 9.
Motivatable.
Alright. But now when we get to actually analyzing why this works, now the fact that we have downsized it earlier becomes very, very useful. Right? So for example, I think in the second and the fifth board, second and the fifth cases, there was all that's left over that you can play on was a 1 by 9. We already solved the 1 by 9. We know for sure the second player wins on this board, which means these cases are done automatically. These are the easiest cases. Alright. So those guys are done. We know for sure player 2 wins based on the previous work. Alright, and this one is this is a hard case. Alright, notice we have a 1 by 3 left over and a 1 by 8 left over. So we need to look at a couple of cases. Right? If player 1 plays on the 1 by 3, then player 2 just plays to win on the 1 by 8. Right? We had that before. And again, using the fact that we have downsized for advantage.